What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're taking a look at Grounded 2 here, and unfortunately this is once again done in early access and still being worked on, but I did want to be able to take a look at performance here on the Steam Deck and see what we were doing and if it would ultimately be playable. Would we have problems with crashes or anything like that? And I've put a couple of hours in just messing around here in the beginning, a couple hours in the park, and I haven't had any crashes or issues, though they do warn that you could have some issues with features, crashes, things like that. And basically, it's just a pre-release version of the game. As far as our graphic settings go, it's pretty bare bones. We're going to be full screen, 800p. We're going to be on low for right now, but we'll take a look at medium as well. Wish we had a little bit more control over all of the settings here. But ultimately, this is what we've got. So we're going to jump in and take a look at that. We're going to have to mess with the render scale in order to get the game to be playable, because 800p will be a bit much. So 60% resolution scale here at low with 800p, just sitting still in this spot here, you're around 33-34 FPS. So we'll go ahead and make a switch here and take us up to 100% on the resolution scale, and we'll be down to 20 FPS sitting still, down into the teens if we move around or really do anything. So obviously that's not really going to be an option. 50% tends to work pretty well, 37, 38 over that 33 or so we had at the 60, and that's what I've been mostly playing the game at. You can go all the way down to 25%, but it's going to introduce a lot more flickering and issues. But if you're dying to get that FPS up there, you could certainly do it by doing that. But we'll go back to that medium 50% here, and that'll take us down to about 34. But the problem is, as I get into other areas of the game, I was having trouble with really maintaining even 30, 28 FPS. So medium wasn't working great, and anything above 50% also wasn't working there. So honestly, for now, I just opted for low. If we had a little bit more control with individual settings, I think we might be able to get a better balance here, or more optimization. We might be able to easily just run this on medium, but I just ran into a lot of different issues when I was in that. So just sticking with that low 50% resolution scale here and running around some different areas, you can see how the performance is and kind of how it was running here. And ultimately, I think it was fine. There's plenty of spots where it's going to come down into the 20s. You'll see some of that later on as well. And it's going to bounce around mostly, though, between that 30 and 40 FPS range with these settings. And of course, tweak things to your liking as far as the resolution scale and lower medium. But again, I think you will suffer with medium and some other areas of the game. Again, for my couple hours I put in here, even with their warnings, I didn't have any crashes on the Steam Deck or any weird bugs yet. It may not look the greatest at this resolution scale, and we are at low, but I didn't run into any real issues or bugs or crashes yet. But I do have a long ways to go, as I have only put in a couple of hours here. Now, I do remember the original Grounded also coming out in pretty early access and being fairly bare bones. And I do at least feel like the survival mode in this has a bit more going on at launch here with the quest and the storyline and different things like that. And I actually am having a pretty decent time with it, but it is a little bit disappointing that after that first game, we couldn't really just have an actual launch of the game not being in early access and being kind of a bit more ready to go, and didn't have to have warnings about crashes or issues, and kind of being an experience that you jump in and grow with the game. And I know that worked out okay for the first one for the most part, but I would have preferred a kind of more fleshed out, ready to go experience here, because it is pretty fun so far in the time I've spent, but it just is what it is, game preview or early access here. But anyways, guys, this is pretty much the performance you can expect with these kind of settings on the Steam Deck for now. I'm sure it's going to change in the future with optimizations and patches and updates, and I'll take another look at this down the road when performance does change, and we'll see if we can do a little bit better here. But anyways, guys, as always, thanks a lot for coming to watch the video. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.